And we are live. Welcome back to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, for the critical thinkers, for the Manchester United fans out there who like to think about things. This is a channel for you. Big up all my football fans, all my Man United fans, all my fellow humans on this planet Earth. Today we have a lot to get through today. Jim Ratcliffe has come out. He has been speaking. And we have the quotes from the business podcast. And boy, oh boy, guys, you are going to, I think you're going to want to know what this guy has been saying. He is the head of Ineos. Ineos are in charge of the footballing side of things, and he has come out, and I'm telling you guys, some of the quotes will either fill you with fear and anger and rage, or it may comfort you. It may make you happy, depending on what side of the fence you are currently sitting on. So we have the Jim Ratcliffe quote. Essentially, Ruben Amorim, according to Jim Ratcliffe, isn't going anywhere, guys. So that is the main theme, but we're going to talk about all the other things this man has said. Also, Joshua Zirkzee, as you guys can see on screen, he's looking for a move out of Old Trafford in January. And if you are a friend of this channel, if you tune into this channel regularly, you will know all there is about Zirkzee. I've said many times that Joshua Zirkzee is leaving this football club. He absolutely has to leave this football club if he wants a footballing career. So we're going to talk about Zirkzee. We're going to talk about Jim Ratcliffe. Also, there is news on a new academy base to be built or maybe upgraded. There's confirmation, or let's say conversation, about the academy and the academy base. We're going to look at that together. Also, we're going to look at the Saudi deal. I think if you are familiar with this channel, once again, we spoke about the fact that Man United could be doing midweek friendlies in the season in Saudi Arabia. So we're going to look at that and what kind of money Man United could make from that. Also, Barada and Wilcox have spoken as well. There are quotes coming out from their conversation with the squad. Apparently, they've spoken to the squad about Ruben Amorim. That's very interesting. We also have news, guys, that Harry Maguire, I know there has been some quotes, some rumours that he might leave in January. He might leave next summer. Apparently, the news is Harry Maguire is set to stay at Manchester United. So once again, we will look at that together as a channel. Also, I know you guys are not always trusting of Indy Kalia. They are new, just on the scene. They didn't get everything right, but they have come out today and they've said that there is a sale. There is a sale agreed of Bruno Fernandes. Apparently, we've already agreed to sell him. I don't know. We'll get into it as usual. So, guys, we're going to talk about Zirkzee, talk about the Jim Ratcliffe quotes that I'm very sure you guys are going to want to know about. The quotes are a bumper. The quotes are a big bumper. So stay tuned for that as well. The academy stuff, the Saudi stuff, Barada and Wilcox and Maguire as well. So there's a lot for us to get through. A lot of juicy content, juicy conversations, guys. As usual, big up the chat, big up the community. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good week. Let's bang it out. Let's see what's going on. So the first bit of news, guys, is Joshua Zirkzee. And as I've said before, Joshua Zirkzee is getting no minutes. He's not even getting 5 minutes towards the end. Harry Maguire and other players are being substituted on the field ahead of him. Even when we are losing and we need to score a goal, we still don't see Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee is still one of our best players. He's one of our better players. Last season, he was probably one of our better players. Once again, last season. Much better than Højlund was last season. But yet, he still couldn't get games. We don't understand why Joshua Zirkzee cannot play games for Manchester United. I understand that we're playing once a week, and I said that a lot of things will change now that we're playing once a week. We're going to see the true colours of the manager. We're going to see some players who are all smiles and all happy in pre-season. We're going to see how their smiles change during the season when they realise that they're not being played. We're not even playing well. We're not doing that great. So you'd think the manager will be trying things. I'm very, very annoyed personally that Joshua Zirkzee doesn't get enough game time. He doesn't get enough game time. And the news is then, during the summer, we heard news about Zirkzee leaving. And I did say that this news about Zirkzee leaving or not leaving is going to carry on as long as Zirkzee isn't playing. Similar to Kobbie Mainoo, this will always be lingering around because these two players will get into most teams, I think, in the Premier League. Most teams will love a player like Joshua Zirkzee. They would love, look how big and strong he is. He'll be a menace for a lot of Premier League teams, for a lot of Italian teams. Kobbie Mainoo, a lot of clubs will snap your arm off to get him. But those two players can't get into this poor Man United team. Very, very interesting. So the news is from Chris Wheeler. And not just Chris Wheeler, from other journalists that we've seen in the past. But today, it is from Chris Wheeler. He's saying that Joshua Zirkzee is frustrated with his playing time and will seek to leave the club in January if the situation does not change, in order to give himself a chance to return to the national team for the World Cup. I actually feel sorry for Zirkzee. He went from 23 years old, Italian team of the year, Serie A team of the year as the striker, 23. The whole world, you know, ahead of him. One of the most sought after strikers in the world when we bought him. Amazing footballer. Burton into the international team. And now all of a sudden he's nowhere. Nowhere to be seen just because of the manager that we have. So it's not one of those things where it's like, just buckle down, Zirkzee, and work hard. You will get a game time. No, it's not that. He's just not fancied by the manager. I think it's best for us to let Joshua Zirkzee go and play his football. Sell him if we have to. Just let him play. Don't destroy his career by letting him rot on the bench. Don't promise us and promise him that he will play. Don't tell us that, you know, we see him in higher regards. The club keeps coming out by saying that they see him in high regards. He's promising, he's this and he's that, but he doesn't play. He doesn't play. So let me know, guys, what you think. Comment below. Does Joshua Zirkzee make it to the summer? Does he get sold in January? Does he go out on loan in January? Do you see a world where Joshua Zirkzee is still at this football club next season? That's the question. Because I do not. Based on the evidence that's in front of me, based on the data and the sample size that we've seen from this manager, even when Højlund was playing badly last season, Zirkzee didn't get too much of a run in. Even then. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I don't think it's going to be good for Zirkzee with regards to his Manchester United career, and he's never been given a chance. That's going to be the saddest thing. The saddest thing is that he hasn't really been given a chance. The saddest thing is that bomb squad, some of the bomb squad, was never really given a chance in this new regime. Zirkzee will never and has never been given a real chance. So, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that's a Zirkzee situation, people. Just let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with what I'm saying, just let me know. Just say you disagree and let me know why. So let's move on to the Jim Ratcliffe business podcast, guys. I've seen the quotes. I've heard what he's had to say, and straight off the bat, I'm not going to lie, I'm very surprised he has the stance that he has. Very, very surprised. Some of you might have heard it already, seen the quotes already, but boy oh boy, I'm shocked at some of these quotes. Big up Johnny Hill in the chat. Big up my guy Johnny. Thanks for joining, bro. Johnny says, Sir Jim talking about the no free lunches. Does he realize Amrim is essentially getting a paycheck for free? Because from what I've seen, Amrim doesn't do anything. Big statement, big comment from Johnny. But Johnny, I like that comment. I like that comment. It's very clear. And to be honest, I see your perspective. I understand what you are saying. The no free lunches thing is absolutely diabolical stuff. I'm not saying that he has to give free lunches. I'm just saying the fact that you're coming out and saying, I never got free lunches, so why are we doing this? The fact that you want to treat Man United as a big global brand, and a lot of big global brands like Google have free lunches, right? While at the same time saying we can't afford free lunches. Who has free lunches? I never had free lunches. Listen, the issue I'm always going to have is capitalists. I do not like rich billionaires. There's not one rich billionaire that I think is a good human being. I always say you do not become a billionaire by doing the best things in the world and being good. You do not. So when we say we support Manchester United, and Manchester United are owned by some of the cretins of this world, the Glazers, the rich succubuses of this world who just want money and nothing else. They own the football club. They are the football club. So when we say that we support Manchester United, we are essentially saying we support them. All the propaganda, all the PR that comes out of Manchester United is from the Glazers and Ed Woodward. To support the football club by default is to support them. How do you separate the owners of the football club from the actual football club when everything about the football club is decided by the owners? Just think about it for 1 second. For 1 second. In an ideal world, if we were logical creatures and purely objective animals, as soon as somebody nefarious buys your football club, you will stop supporting the football club because it no longer is the same football club that you. That's what, because it's a religion, right? We all continue to support the club because we love the club. It's an emotional thing. It's an emotional thing. Anyway, we will read the quotes, guys, from Jim Ratcliffe, and you will let me know if my conclusions that I'm reaching are wrong. If you disagree, please, guys, talk to me. Let me know. Let's go. So Ruben needs to prove he's an excellent coach over 3 years. I don't know why he's chosen 3 years. You know, first and foremost, whenever someone tries to frame something, he needs to do this over 2 years. He needs to do this over 3 years or 4 years. Ask the question, why 3? Why not 1 year? Why not, why? Why is this number of years? Be careful what you buy into. When someone's talking to you, it's easy to buy into what they're saying to you. But sometimes some questions have to be asked, right? So we will read on. We will read on, guys. Sometimes I don't understand the press. This is the Jim. They want instant success. I don't think the press want instant success. They just want a direction. They want us. Well, I don't know about the press, but I want to see us improve. Anyway, he goes on to say, they think it's like a switch that you press a button and everything will be rosy the next day. So Jim, this whole sentence, yeah, is like he's talking to us like we're idiots. He's talking to us like we're dumb, like we haven't been watching football as long as we've been alive. Everyone in my chat right now, you've all been watching football since you were young, since you were little kids. We understand this shit more than Jim Ratcliffe does. I'm telling you 100% people, yes, I'm talking to you. You know more about football, yeah, than Jim Ratcliffe does. 100% I will bank on it. TK, Johnny, you both do. Why is he talking to us like this? They want instant success. I don't understand. It's like a switch. Bro, what are you talking about? How many football clubs have gone from 10th to 1? Leicester City won the league. A lot of managers come into football clubs and they make instant differences. You can see changes straight away. You're now trying to convince us it's 2, 3, 4, 3 years now. I'm telling you, the PR and the brainwashing, that the propaganda that goes on at Manchester United Football Club, it's insane. But it has to be this way. It has to be this way. In order to keep us as fans, they have to do these things. Anyway, he goes on to say, you can't run a club like Manchester United by reacting impulsively to some journalists who get carried away every week. Bro, have you not? We finished 15th. Does he not understand that? My issue with this guy is, 1 minute he's firing everybody because of how disastrous we've been off the field. We've never been 15th under the Glazers and under Ed Woodward. Under Ed Woodward and all these bastards back in the day, we weren't this bad. He's coming, in yourself coming, and now we're finishing 15th, yeah? And he's saying that we're reacting impulsively every week when we've seen over 50 games that this guy is just not good enough. The level of delusion you have to be, like, for Man United to be where they are right now, in the state that they are right now, for Jim Ratcliffe to be speaking like this, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane, people. In my opinion. In my opinion. Let me see what TK, big up TK in the chat. Johnny, anyway, we know the real reason for Sir Jim back at Amram. It costs him nothing to keep Amram due to how much revenue we make yearly. It's why they don't invest in the women's and youth setups. Johnny, the thing about the revenue as well, Johnny, we made more money on the previous regimes and we didn't have to fire anybody. Do you know why? Because we were winning on the previous, we were winning European titles. We were in the Champions League under Ed. Yes, listen, it wasn't. I'm not gonna do the revisionism and saying Ed Woodward and these guys were good, because they weren't that good. They were shit too, but they were shit in a different way. Both of these guys are shit. Ineos, the Glazers are both shit. They're both shit in different ways. Yeah, this new regime is shit, and the previous regime was shit, but they're shit in different ways. Brown shit, green shit, white shit is still shit. Yeah. So man said white shit. That grey one, that's stale. That's like weeks and weeks. That is such a dumb analogy. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean? This is silly. But you know what I mean. It's crazy. Like, it's mad. So, and we didn't have to fire everybody. Everyone got paid. And now that he's making wrong decisions, the wrong decision to keep Ten Hag, give him a new contract and then fire him, well, you should have fired him. The whole Ashworth thing. And when I think about the people that Ineos have, I mean, Omar Barada has never been a CEO anywhere in his life. He wasn't a CEO at Manchester City. He wasn't. So when you even think about the whole best in class thing, you're thinking, hold a second, we have a CEO in Omar Barada who's never done the job before. How the hell is that best in class? Why don't you take a Real Madrid CEO? Why don't you actually take a CEO from a club who's actually a CEO? Why don't you get a director of football from a club who is actually a director of football? We've promoted Omar Barada and Wilcox into those positions. They were not the best in class. They weren't. So even the whole we're getting the best in class as a structure, that's a lie. Factually, it's a lie, and the propaganda is crazy. It's crazy. So I'm gonna be on these people's necks in this show. I'm sorry, guys, if you want a positive show, you're not gonna get one today. I'm on necks today, and I'm not gonna lift my foot up. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm good, TK. I'm blessed, bro. Worked from home today, so I had a chill day. until I saw the news. Johnny Hill says they penny pinch and penny pinch, then they will ride their meal ticket with their stadium paid for the taxpayers. Johnny, I need you on the channel more. I need this wisdom because you're chatting facts. TK says my left nut knows more. I love TK, you know. Like TK is always every day. TK is here, bro. TK, you know, I rate you, bro. I rate you. Johnny said, did Goldbridge back Sir Jim's Twitter account? Oh, hack Sir Jim's Twitter account. They sound like Goldbridge tweets. You guys, I'm supposed to be angry, bro. You make me laugh. I'm supposed to be frustrated with these guys. You guys are making me laugh, man. Stop. Yeah, and you're shocked because true. Osman says Radcliffe has that rich person narcissism where all criticism is ascribed to malicious journalists or bots or paid actors. Oz is right. It's Sir Jim. I never wanted Sir Jim. I never liked Sir Jim. When Sir Jim came and used the whole British stuff, and he uses xenophobia to get on side with the Man United fans because he was about to buy Chelsea. He went to buy Chelsea. They said no, and then he went, okay, let's try Man United. He's not a Man United fan. He doesn't care about the club. He just wants the money. He met with the Glazers and he said, listen, these Qataris, they want to buy the club. I don't want to buy the club. I want to go into partnership with you Glazers. I want us to make money together. I want us to drain the club together. And then he said, cool, how can I get the fans on my side? Let's talk about some English shit. Because don't forget, Sir Jim Ratcliffe voted for Brexit. Yeah, let's not forget the mindset of this billionaire. He voted. He's a rich man, and he's a rich man who voted for Brexit. Absolutely insane. So, to Jim, I never wanted Jim. I don't never like Jim. You know, and this is not. I'm not doing an analytical show. I can say my opinions on the show. Yeah. I agree with Osman 100%. Johnny says Sir Jim's moving like Mr. Crab in that SpongeBob episode where he sat people in front of the TV and pressed a button to remove the TV watch time from their memories. I remember the episode as well. That's funny. Osman says his membership of the Brexit religion. Oh, Osman said, that's funny. I didn't even read that comment until now. His membership of the Brexit religion already shows he doesn't let reality get in the way of righteous feelings. Osman, I just read that comment, but I went on my Brexit rant before I read the comment. We're thinking the same thing. Like, from when he's doubled down on his Brexit thing, even now. He's not come out and said Brexit was wrong. You need to understand these guys and understand how their brains work. That's why I say I support Man United Football Club, but I don't like the owners. I don't support the owners. How can I separate my feeling for the club with the feeling for the owners? When the club and everything about the club, the fabric of the club, the culture, everything is set by these owners. So how do you compartmentalize that, people? How? What if you believe in something fundamentally? Say you're an Arsenal fan and you don't believe that, I don't know, a whole group of people needs to die. And you fundamentally, but your owner does. The owner of your football club does. How do you still go on and support that football club if you have a moral and ethical difference, full difference between yourself and the owner? Anyway, let's see what else this guy's saying, because this is not just what he's saying, guys. You're going to want to hear the rest of it if you haven't heard already. He has gone on to say, Amorim has not had the best of seasons. Full stop. So at least he's not fully delusional. His eyes work. His eyes actually work. Well done. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years. Here's a magic 3 years. Who's told him 3? Why 3? I don't know, but 3 is the number he's chosen. The magic 3. That's where I'd be. We can't run a club like United on knee-jerk reactions. That is actually true. We can't actually run it like that. But I don't think sacking the manager now will be a knee-jerk reaction. It's opposite. It's a delayed reaction. You're conflicted a delayed reaction with a knee-jerk one, and they're completely opposite. they're actually completely opposites. You know. Anyway, who goes off on one every week? Yeah. So that's similar to what we said. I don't know. Let's move on. So this is a Jim Ratcliffe on what would happen if the Glazers told him to sack Ruben Amorim. He just said, listen, this is what his man said. It's not going to happen. He has not had the best of seasons. Yeah. So, yeah, that's just basically giving us context. When he was asked if the Glazers want to sack him, what would he do? His response is, it's not going to happen. So, if you, this is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to put out there. This is the image. He wants to let you know, I know, and the fans know, and the footballers know that this man Amorim is, unless something, listen, we have to caveat this because I am convinced that if we finish in 17th again this season, he might get fired. Or will he? I mean, 17 again. I mean, if he finished like 15th again this season, you'd think surely he would get fired. You'd think that this all sounds, he's saying all these things, assuming that we finish in a respectable position in his eyes. Whatever that is, because there's no, is it top 10? Is it top, what is it? There has to be a target, right? A goal. It can't just be, he's not getting fired. So what if we finish, what if we get relegated? Will he then get fired? Of course he will, surely, right? It's not some blanket, he was just not going to get fired. So, and I think a lot of people are just taking it as he's not getting fired, full stop. And I'm like, bro, we can't really take it like that because there has to be something that he does to get fired. You can't just have some blank check to just get relegated and still not get fired. That's not, surely it's, unless we're missing the whole point here and Sir Jim wants us to get relegated. Maybe that's the whole point. So he can buy the club for cheap. And then go to the Glazers. Haha, psych. I got us relegated on purpose so you can so share price gets lowered so you guys F off. Now, haha, I don't know. That's a conspiracy, fully. But it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. Let's read what the chat is saying quickly. Yo, Alfred Gideon in the house. Turkish says, it's the fact that Jim should be directing his looking down on people for the Glazers because they only had to bring him in because they do everything on debt and don't invest. They think so little of us. Turkish, that is the rich versus the poor. What we're going to see a lot of is not even football. This is not football, guys. This is just life. This is just how the rich operate. And this is the contempt the rich treat us, the everyday person, with. That's just it. This is not football. You find this in every space, in every business space, this is just life. Alfred said, Jim thinks that everywhere outside Manchester, people patiently and slowly turn on or off the switch, making sure that it doesn't hurt the switch. He expects a process like that. Alfred, hey, Jim, he sniffs different kind of crack. He sniffs different kind of crack. I don't know what kind, but these rich people, they get different ones, bro. TK says, I've been angry since Glazers came in. This new partner owner is just the same. Remember, we hold the power. We can choose not to support. TK is right. If you get to where TK is and you just choose not to support and just choose not to watch all these things, it means you're unhooking yourself. And it takes a long time to unhook yourself. The issue is, once you unhook yourself, you're called a fake fan. Like, the problem is we live in a world where the more you're brainwashed is the more of a fan you will be, and the more you're a good fan because you support the club all the time, and everything the club does, everything you have to support, everything the club does. No, because the club is owned by dicks. So if I support everything the club does, I'm supporting everything these dicks do. Do you not understand that? Wow, the venom that was kind of, I had to chill. I was gonna spit some crazy, but I'm on YouTube. But so you have to question the club. The fact that me and this chat, people in this chat, and people in the footballing community hold the club up, question the club. A lot of fans are like, why are you questioning the club? Why do you want the manager to go? You're supposed to back the club always. No, no, no. Because by backing the club always, you're backing the decisions made by these guys. And some of these decisions made by these guys are bollocks. The whole propaganda around the bomb squad. I hated calling them the bomb squad. I said, why can't we just get rid of these players? Why we got to call them the bomb squad? Why we got to turn against the players that we want out? Why can't we just sell them without hating them? It's people. Big up TK. Anyway, big up Alfred. Big up. United need Russian, not current possible, or Middle Eastern owners. They buy teams for fun and to say this is my toy. American and Europe owners are money before winning. Thank you, TK. TK's my guy. TK's my guy. I've said this many times. I'd rather have an owner who's worth 100 billion that says, you know, here's 4 billion, buy Man United. I'm gonna buy Man United because I want them to get back to the top because I support the club and I've got pocket change to buy them. Boom. Give me that owner. Don't give me the poor or the broke billionaire who's just about being a billionaire. He's buying it because they need to make money off it. They need the invest. They need to generate funds and the capital, the dividends. They need it. Don't give me those guys. Give me a guy that doesn't even need to take money out of the club. He doesn't even need to. But no, identity is the most important thing to the fans. Oh, we don't want the Qataris. I mean, the Glazers probably wouldn't have sold to the Qataris anyway. Maybe they always wanted just to sell part of the club and to generate money for themselves. And that 1 billion or whatever it was that Jim bought the shares for, that went straight to the Glazers, right? The Glazers sold their shares for about 1 billion or whatever it was. They pocketed that money, didn't put any of that into the club. And then Jim came back with another 250 or whatever it was to redo Carrington. These guys are succubuses. They're gremlins, they're parasites, but they're billionaires and they're businessmen. And then you have people supporting them saying, oh, they're just doing business stuff. They're just businessmen, which is true. In the world of business, everything they've done is business. But it doesn't mean we have to like it. We're fans of football. Anyway, he goes on to saying this. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe on if the Glazers were happy for him to take charge. That probably sums it up, he says. We're local and they're the other side of the pond. That's a long way away to try and manage a football club as big and as complex as Manchester United. We're here with feet on the ground. Cool. I don't trust this guy anymore. I mean, I never did anyway, but I think it's good that this guy's speaking, Sir Jim, because it's good that we understand if he's the owner and he's in charge of Ineos and Ineos are in charge of the footballing side, apparently, we need to understand his brain. I've always said, I want to understand people's brain. If you understand someone's thought process, what they think, how they think, why they think, you'll then start to understand the decisions that they make. And then you'll start to understand why the club is where it is. Keep speaking, Jim, so we start to understand you and what you are. The irony of Sir Jim wanting taxpayers to pay for the stadium is that he skipped his way to another country to avoid paying taxes. Johnny, one thing that, and I always say this because I need to qualify my experience as a financial advisor and an economist. That's what I do. I'm an economist. One thing that you need to understand is that, what was I going to say? Forgot now. Yeah, sorry. All billionaires, whether you're Elon Musk or Sir Jim, they become billionaires because of our money, because of government contracts. That's one of the first ways you become a billionaire. You cozy up with the government and the government, look at the PPE scandals and all these things, right? You cozy up to the government, and the government says, okay, we need 1 billion shoes for kids. Can you give us that? Then you go, cool, give me 10 billion pounds and I'll give you those billion shoes. You sign a government contract, you become a billionaire in an instant. Then you deliver those shoes. You make sure the shoes that you deliver are the shittest shoes ever. The shoes that cost you 10 pence to make. Government contracts, i.e. government's giving our money, our hard-earned money to these rich billionaires, is the quickest way to become a billionaire. Government contracts. Nobody talks about this. When people want to talk about socialism, giving away free money, bro, the rich people, and this is not even football, this is gone away from football now. The rich, they're socialists. The rich are always passing money to each other. Here's 100 billion. Here's passing money around, pass money around. Cool, great. The minute we talk about raising taxes for the rich and a bit of socialism for the poor, oh my God, no socialism. No, we can't give away free money. But these guys are always accepting free money from the governments. Understand how this works, guys. Please. It'll make you feel better once you understand how every cog works, bro, in this world. Anyway, let's move on and see if anything this guy says. Let me just quickly read the chat. Alfred says Glazers probably thinks that Jim is a manager of the club. Says Alfred. Probably Alfred. Big up Jerry. Jerry says Amrim out. Glasner. Listen, Jerry. This is the second time Jerry's done this here. Every time Jerry says Amrim out, yeah, Glasner in, I read it as Glazers in. That's how I read it. And I'm like, Jerry. And I'm reading it again. I'm like, oh, Jerry is Glasner in. Flipping neck. Big up yourself, Jerry. I hope you're doing well, my guy. If Amrim finishes 9th or 10th, do you think it was an improvement or criminal offense? Bro, I'm not even calling the police, bro. I'm calling a secret service on this guy, bro. I'm calling in America. I'm flipping MI6 to get rid of this guy and take him out, bro. Just bring him back to Portugal. I'm calling James Bond, bro. Come, James Bond, go take Amrin back to Portugal, please. I beg. TK says, I ain't no fake fan, bro. All I'm saying is that we need to remember that this is sport. A luxury idea in our lives. There are more pressing things in my world than Jimmy Dickcliffe flapping his gums. As long as you guys remember that, what TK is saying. Like, that is how you do it. Football, we love football. We love it. Yeah, it's the biggest distraction, yeah, in the world. I always say this. I love football, but I understand it is a distraction. It is a massive distraction. And they use it as such. But we still love it. It's a fun sport. But understand it's just a sport. Sometimes, yeah, when I'm vexed, when I'm angry, I like to sit back and think, hold on a second, chosen Wizzy. Hold on a damn second. 11 men kicking a ball around on the grass has got you angry like this. Step the fuck back. Reevaluate some shit. Think about some shit for a second. Why are you so mad about these 11 men kicking the ball around in the grass? So, sometimes perspective is key. Sometimes if you get angry at these things, you will just lose yourself. Sometimes, like TK says, take a step back. Perspective, yeah. It will change. Turkish says, the fact Jim says the Glazers were happy to have him there because he's got the reins while they are in the USA means they trust him to enact what they want. They are aligned. Thank you, Turkish. Perfect. There is a sentiment out there. There's a thought process out there that two billionaire businessmen could come together, shake hands, say they're going to co-own the club together, have meetings together, and not be aligned. There's a thought process out there where people are trying to separate Ineos from the Glazers. While you can, to some extent, Ineos will never be here. Ineos, and understand this, Ineos could and would never be here if the Glazers did not want them to be here. They wouldn't have sold them the club or their shares. So if the Glazers want Ineos to be here, it must mean Ineos are doing something the Glazers like, that the Glazers want. That's it. Let's not forget that. Let's lock that in. Let's lock that in our minds and understand that. Ineos are an extension of the Glazers, while at the same time, they want to do things a bit differently. I'm not going to tell lies. They do actually want to do things a bit differently. They do. But they are an extension of the Glazers at the same time. And both can be true. Both can be true at the same time. TK says, Jim is Glazers' meat sock puppet. He just happens to be knighted. But then again, so is Dick Jagger. Alfred, 9th or 10th is an improvement under any manager from last season. So I would see that as a step in the right direction. Long season, though. 9th or 10th is acceptable for United. Nah, not a chance. Me is in the chat. Big up me in the chat. Me, I hope you've heard or read the Jim Ratcliffe quotes. Let me know what you're saying about the Jim Ratcliffe quotes, me. Thoughts on politicians saying they wouldn't want to be the Ruben Amorim of politics? Who said that, Alfred? Are people actually saying that? Like, that is funny. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. A politician saying they wouldn't want to be the Ruben Amorim of politics. Bro, you are a politician. Your job literally is to lie. That is literally your job. Your job is to swindle the public into voting for you. And that's it. Badenoch said it. Oh, somebody called Kemi Badenoch the Amorim of politics. That is... So they're using Amorim of politics as a diss. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, Alfred. That is funny, Alfred. I see it. I see it now, Alfred. All right. Let's see what else this guy's saying. Okay, this is the fun one, people. This is fun. Sir Jim Ratcliffe on the criticism, and this is what you guys were saying at the beginning of the show, people. Sir Jim Ratcliffe on criticism on the 450 job cuts and removal of perks like subsidized staff lunches. So not even free lunches, it's just subsidized lunches. And I have to say, 1 second, guys, I work for a company in the United Kingdom called John Lewis. Yeah. And John Lewis are a good company to work for, because if you become an employee of John Lewis, you almost get John Lewis shares. So you are part of John Lewis family. You're part of the company when you join. It's called a partnership program. And working for John Lewis, you get subsidized lunches. And it's not even the biggest firm. It's not the biggest company in London. But if you work for John Lewis, you spend like a £1 on lunch. At least when I was there, £1.50 on lunch. And that's a small firm that doesn't make as money as Man United, John Lewis. So I just want to put it out there that subsidized lunches are a thing in a lot of massive firms. Anyway, let's read what this guy's saying. So this is about him cutting the jobs and the subsidized lunches. The costs were just too high, full stop. But we know the costs weren't too high because this has been going on for decades. So if the costs were too high, why was it only stopped now? The costs are too high in relative terms based on the money that we're bringing in, but it wasn't a problem then. Anyway, let's read on. There are some fantastic people at Manchester United, but there was also a level of mediocrity, and it had become bloated. Bro, this mediocre human being who is only rich because probably he's, I don't know, is he a self-made billionaire? I don't know. But this mediocre human being who's hired other mediocre human beings to run the club, including the mediocre manager, is saying that there's too many mediocre people at Manchester United, so he had to let some of them go. Am I losing the plot here? Or am I understanding this properly? No? No people? Yes? What? Up, down, left, right? Who, what, when, who, why, where? Anyway, I got a lot of flack for the free lunches, but no one's ever given me a free lunch. Bro, you know how many free lunches, yeah, he must have had being a billionaire. When that's the thing about being a billionaire, yeah, you get bare free shit. It's funny how money works. The more money you have, the more you can walk into some places and they'll be like, "Oh shit, it's Jim. This you don't have to pay for anything, Jim. It's all on me." You get a lot of free shit, yeah, when you become a billionaire. This guy, yeah, literally said out of his mouth, yeah, and this shows what's inside his head. You got to understand the character of the man. I got a lot of flack for the free lunches, but no one's ever given me a free lunch. What? What? What does that mean? What does that even mean? How do we, what does that sentence mean? Because you didn't receive free lunch when you were working, it means Man United need to stop doing free lunches under your watch because you didn't, what? I don't even understand, I don't even understand this. This guy is, I don't know, people. I don't know. I don't know, people. I really don't know. My head's hot. My head's hot. Maybe it shouldn't be, but I just don't know. You guys are talking about where the squad should be. Big up the chat anyway, man. Where the squad should finish. DK's like Maguire, Shaw, Dallo, Casemiro by in there. Top 4. Yeah, Alfred said, yeah, Kemi. I saw it, Alfred. Kemi Badenoch. That's wild, Alfred. That's wild, Alfred, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What do you think of it, Alfred? I want to know what your opinion, bro. Milton says, hi, Wiz. I'm not sure how Ineos help on the actual football side. They look more like a cost control and cost cutting setup. Yes, Milton. They've come in and they've said, you know what? Let's see how we can suck more money out of Man United. Okay, let's cut this cost here. Let's cut this here. Let's do this. Let's do that here. And we can generate more money. They're here for the money. No, I mean, of course they are. I mean, I can't even say they're here for the money because that's just like, while you don't buy Man United if you don't want money. But it's just clear what's happening for me. It's getting more clear what's happening. And the interesting thing about what Ineos are doing, they believe we're going to make more money by focusing on the off-field cuts rather than trying to get a better manager, better players, because the on-field stuff is how we make money. The team, the manager, the squad. So you're willing to give arguably a mediocre manager 3 years just because, and lose money by not, you lost money, Jim, by not getting into the Champions. One match, just beat Tottenham. Just beat Tottenham and get your 100 million. There's the 100 million right there, just there, shiny, 100 million, ooh, 100 million. Just win this one match, Tottenham, and you get your 100 million Champions League money. Boom. We didn't do it, we lost. Cool. We got defeated by Grimsby, knocked out of the EFL, more money lost. Cool. We're going to probably get knocked out FA Cup. More money lost. Cool. And we're probably not going to finish the top 6. More money lost. So he is going to make all that money that we've lost, as I've described, all that money that we're going to lose. Next season, what's he going to do? Fire even more people to make that money back up. Or do the right thing, get shit right on the field, and therefore you don't have to fire nobody. Why is he doing it backwards? Why is he doing it backwards, people? Am I losing the plot here, or am I not losing the plot? I don't know. Maybe today is not a good day for me. I'm just moany. I don't know. Maybe I'm just angry today. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Maybe that's what it is. But this stuff has pissed me off, people. It has, and I'm not going to hide it. I don't care. If I'm pissed off, I'm pissed off. I ain't going to be fake. Anyway, big up Milton in the chat anyway. TK says, I don't think the Sunderland game was any different than the other games. We just happened to catch Sunderland on a bad day. TK, I did think, and when I was watching the game, that I've watched Sunderland before. They haven't been as bad as they were against us in the league. They haven't been as bad. So I hear what TK is saying. Big up Shivam in the chat. Yeah. Big up Shivam. Yeah, man. And Zirkzee is a great player for Serie A, not Prem. I never liked the signing. I like the signing. And I feel like he hasn't done anything wrong in the Prem. I feel like he's strong. The only thing that Zirkzee doesn't have, for me, is that will make him better for the Prem is pace. He's not that quick. But then I don't fully believe that personally. But I take your point, TK. Arthur said, the kid you regret inviting to your birthday party who demands getting the first piece or else he flipping smashes the whole cake, killing the vibe. Me says Bruno starts, Manu starts, Cunha starts, and then Bumo starts, and Euro starts, and De Ligt starts for City. That's a big claim, me. Who I don't know if everyone believes that, but that's a talking point there. That's a conversation right there, me. Shivam says, finally, Zirkzee's leaving along with Maguire, Bruno, and Casemiro. I'm so happy they don't fit the system. Bring in Semenyo, Bleba, Elliott, and Stiller, says Shivam. Once again, that's big, bold statements from Shivam. Let me know, guys, if you agree with that. Listen, I'm going to defend Zirkzee. I like Zirkzee. I know some of you guys don't like Zirkzee, but I think Zirkzee is better than some of the 10s that we already have. I think as a footballer, he's one of the best footballers we have. That's just my opinion. So last season, most times he played, he looked good. He looked much better than Højlund. I like Zirkzee. I do. And I feel like, depending on where you are, you either believe in the manager, buy into the manager, and buy into the system. And therefore, if the player doesn't fit the system, they need to leave. But if you haven't bought into the manager, and therefore haven't really bought into the system, then whether Kobe Manu or Zirkzee fit the system, I don't care, because the system is shit. So I'm not going to sell players that don't fit a system that doesn't, in my opinion, is not really working. So I feel like there's two, and either one could be correct. Maybe the system will come to be good, and maybe we're all wrong, and the system is the best system ever. Maybe. And if I'm wrong, I'm not hiding. I'll be here, and I'll be like, cool, this system is sick. I was so wrong. Yeah, it's working. But I'm always going to be cautious about getting rid of players right now that don't fit into Amorim's rigid system. I don't know about that. That's just me. That's just me. But, yeah. Listen, guys, we always agree to disagree as long as it's respectful. I'm not always right. I'm just here to deliver the news and give my opinions. It's just it. That's my opinion. And you guys will challenge me, and I will challenge you, and we'll keep it moving. Big up the chat. Big up TK, me, Shivam. Shivam, give me what you're smoking. Like, Shajim can do the crack. I'll have what you're smoking. We will finish top 4, Shivam. Shivam, I want to be as optimistic as you, my guy. I really do. I really do. And maybe I need to hang around with Shivam more. Just feed me the optimism, because you are very optimistic. But then again, I remember the last time you were here, Shivam, you were like, get this manager out. Shivam was like, get this manager out. And now he's like, we're finishing the top 4. I don't know if you're joking around, Shivam, or you're being serious. You could be joking. Zirkzee is missing pace. Yes. Plus a proper shot. That is correct. That's like a matter. That's like a water polo player that can't swim. Listen, I hear what you're saying, TK. I hear you. I just like Zirkzee, but I hear you. He is missing these things. I'm a bit biased towards Zirkzee. I am. I'll clarify that right now. I like Zirkzee. I like the silky ballers, man. I like techie ballers. I really do. I like the Marshalls. I like the Zirkzees. I like those guys who just know what they're doing, put their foot on the ball, has the whole picture in front like of the game, just play at their own pace. Just ballers. I like that. I'm always gonna like that. Um, so water polo that can't swim. TK. He's not that bad. That's funny though. I don't care. Delay only starts for City, in my opinion, because City have no. Yeah, you're right. City's defense is smelly. City's defense is fishy. So, listen, I like Delay. I think Delay, yeah, is, and I've said it before. I think some of the criticism that's thrown at Delay is not warranted, in my opinion. It's in my opinion. Milton says not happy that Zirkzee is not being given time to play. Shivam says, Wiz, how sad were you not seeing the wonder goals which United used to score from outside the box? I guess our players have. Shivam, that's something I've said. I don't think it's a Man United problem. My question to you guys, because Shivam's made an interesting point, I think. How many wonder goals do you see in the Premier League, full stop? What we're seeing is the overcoaching, and what we're seeing is these kinky managers, all of them, do their rigid system. You can't move here. You can't do this. Players are scared to shoot. What we're seeing, for me, and I've said it before, is the death of football as an art form. We know football's a sport. It's about winning, goals and assists now, stats and GA, winning 3 points. Back in the day, it was also an art form. People used to do the maddest skills, do the maddest stuff. We don't want to see that now. If the skill that you do doesn't lead to a goal, then it's pointless. Oh, why is Anthony doing? I miss football as an art form. I miss maverick ballers. I call them maverick ballers, the Hazards of this world. Yeah, the Özils, the guys who do what they want on the football pitch and just give us the memories not to live for, give us memories for a lifetime. The maverick ballers. No football team now can tolerate a baller like that. Every footballer has to run for every ball. Every ball has to be fought. It's so physical. You can't afford to have one or two of these maverick footballers in your team anymore. Especially these new managers that think football's all about them and their tactics and it's not about the players anymore. So are we going to get Gareth Bale dribbling past 4 players and smacking into the top corner? Are we going to get a lob, a chip from the goalkeeper from halfway line? Are we going to get a Paul Scholes 40-yard screamer? These guys, not just from Man United, from the Premier League in general. Probably not. Look at the goal of the month competitions. What kind of goals are you seeing? Cutbacks, cutback tapping. So also we need to add to the fact that the levels of footballer, the athletic level of a footballer, they're converging. Back in the day, you had a really slow right back, like a Gary Neville, and a speedy winger. The athletic levels were so different back in the day. Now, every footballer has to be an athlete. You can't just run past a right back, the Carl Walkers. Every fullback now is as quick as the winger that's playing against him. The convergence in athletic ability must not be understated. From the grassroots, we are looking now for flipping 12-year-olds that look 15. Athletes that can keep running. So I think that's also a part to play. There's many variables, many other variables that I probably haven't mentioned, but I think those things are important. Anyway, let's finish off what we're doing. Back to the cost-cutting policy that the gym is on about, particularly regarding the academy building. So I knew this was going to happen because I understand things. When this guy came in and fired hundreds of staff and called them all mediocre in the previous tweet, yeah, some of the staff that he fired, yeah, were absolutely needed to run this fucking club, yeah, and he's fired them. These guys has fired them, and now everything is flipping breaking. And there's why is everything breaking? Because you fired everybody, you idiot. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. We will read on like sensible people. Let's read on people. There have been complaints about the lack of maintenance staff. The most important people in the football club, yeah, think about what we're doing here. We're playing fucking football. Sorry, I'm swearing because it's pissing me off. I'm sorry, people. I apologize. We need maintenance people to maintain the ground. To make what? Anyway, there have been complaints about the lack of maintenance staff, with uncleaned toilets, unemptied bins, and a field littered with debris. Everyone wearing the club's tracksuits, including the academy coaches and first team analysts, but not the players. Amorim and his coaches must now wash their own equipment. The staff shortage has also reportedly caused an embarrassing incident with United's under-13s, who had to borrow shorts and socks from their opponents, Everton, due to a lack of equipment. Bro. But we're Man United, though. Best in class, though. We're the best, most, have the most revenue. Reported all of this good revenue and all these things. But guess what? The under-13s don't have socks. They don't have shorts. They're just walking around. No, I can't even say that because that's a YouTube ban right there. Yeah, it is. So I'm glad I stopped myself right there. Right there. Thank you, brain. But what is this? What is this, people? I don't want to talk anymore about this because I feel like I'm just been going on and on and on. But I need help. What is this? What is this? This is crazy. Let me see the chat anyway. TK, for me, the jury is still out on De Ligt. He looks okay, but makes bonehead mistakes here and there, albeit less largely. I hear you, TK, but I'm trying to think about it. He made one big mistake the other day, actually, when the ball went over his head. So I was going to ask you what mistakes he's made, but then I just thought about one. I just thought of one. I said, yeah, that mistake. Him and Maguire both made mistakes. Not the other game, the game before. But, yeah, that's TK. Take your point, TK. Alfred Gideon says, agree to disagree, TK, but the one thing that fascinates about Zirkzee is that when Højlund subs off after his clownery, Zirkzee comes on and has better control and link-up play and changes the build-up. Yeah, I'm with Alfred a bit more on this one when it comes to Zirkzee. I mean, Zirkzee's my guy. So, me says, fun fact, Amorim has won 6 Prem games in 8 months against relegated, newly promoted teams and a 10-man Chelsea. But the system is fine according to him. Yeah, me. It is what it is. Even Ruben Amorim doesn't believe he finishes top 4. No. Says Alfred. Me says Zirkzee reminds me so much of Berber. Yeah, me. That's why I like him. That's why I like Zirkzee. I feel like Man United don't know how to use tech ballers. Whether your name is Sebastian Veron, sometimes we don't know how to use tech ballers. But at the same time, if the man's not fitting the system and fitting our style of play, then listen, I'm in a position where Zirkzee needs to leave, but not for the same reasons as you guys want him to leave. I want him to leave so he can just play football and have a career, because he's not going to play football here. That's why I want him to leave. Oh, look, like Glazers out is trending on Twitter. That's funny. After Jim Radcliffe, it's funny, after Jim Radcliffe spoke, Glazers out are trending, not Jim or Ineos. These guys are, anyway. Shivam says, I also lose my patience sometimes, but I'm in for Amorim. I will only assess him after he has got his players and not rush in my decision, which happened in the past, says Shivam. That's Shivam's stance on it. I understand Shivam's stance. Me says Caicedo, okay, the weekend scored a yeah, that was the edge of the box though. That was like 20 yards. That was like literally the edge of the box. I'm talking about the 30-yard screamers. that we used to see. But he did score a rocket. That was a good goal. Bruno, Dalot, Casemiro, Brexit footballers, anti-footballers, hazardous players will be there shooting outside the box. Say less, says Alfred. Me says, I'm old school. I miss Hazard, Henry, Ozil, R10, R9, Cruyff, Bergkamp style of play. GA sucks ass. I'm with me. But that's just life. That's just life. I mean, look at the world. The more money driven it is, the more money becomes God. The more data becomes God. We're all a number. We're all stats. And the humanness. I won't say humanity because humanity means something different. But the humanness is being sucked out of everything that we enjoy. Because everything is all about what's the data. Like even WWE. I watch WWE wrestling sometimes, yeah. But I haven't watched it for the last 2 or 3 months because it's crap now. It's all about data. Who's the most popular? Who's this? Is this? If you rely on data all the time to make your judgments, yeah, and to make your assessments about what to do, I don't know, man. It's not good. It's not good. That's what I think anyway. I miss when football. We used to love the art of football. I know football's a sport, but I miss seeing beautiful things. You know, I miss seeing beautiful things. I miss seeing things where I'm like, whoa, I'm never gonna see that again. I'm never gonna see that again. Wow. You know, but we don't really get that anymore. Not these days. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Big up Emir. Big up Emir. New on the chat. Big him up. Delete and Casemiro out, says Emir. Very interesting. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. But big up Emir. That's his opinion. Delete and Casemiro. TK says, in the last 13 years, United have never kept a manager long enough for him to build the team he wants. Then new manager comes in and rinse and repeat. We sack Amorim. We just set up next for failure, says TK. See, at a club like United, that will never happen. It's like Lincoln level. No disrespect to Lincoln. Osman says, mad stuff happens at academy level sometimes. Last year, I think one Arsenal youth team was supposed to play at Brighton and the bus went to Bournemouth instead. That's mad, Oz. That is crazy. That's wild. So what happened? What happened, Oz? Now I'm intrigued with this story. So that's it. Obviously, he didn't play, right? The match was postponed. Milton says we must have standards at United, and me says, but it would be understandable that Lincoln Academy washes their own kit. True. Zirkzee, Silva, Fernandes has a better chance of starting. Milton says there surely must be a minimum standard for everything at United. I feel that there's a lot that is being kept under wraps now. They only release limited videos and info now, says Milton. I agree with Milton. Big up AP7 in the chat. TK says, I was big on Zirkzee at first, but then the drugs wore off and I saw Casemiro run past him. He's afraid to use his laces to shoot and can't run. Armless water polo player. Hey, listen, TK, yeah. I'm laughing because you're making me laugh, but I don't fully agree with you. You know that already. But it is funny. It is funny. I can't get over the water polo player. That's armless water polo player, you know. That's funny. Nah, man, you're slandering my guy Zirkzee though, TK. I gotta stick up for him. Nah, man. The problem I have here was that I don't fully believe. Like, I know the Premier League, yeah. The thing is, what TK... Okay, let me try to get where TK is saying. In the Premier League, where you need a lot of pace to be a striker, Zirkzee isn't it. But it doesn't mean he's not a good player. I always got to tell people, listen, just because you don't play well or can't survive in the Premier League, it doesn't mean you're not a good player. And I think Zirkzee has a decent... He's not the quickest, but neither is Mateta. There's a lot of strikers who aren't that quick. So I hear what TK is saying. I just have to defend my guy Zirkzee, TK. You understand why. Armless water polo player, you know. No, TK, man. Leave Zirkzee alone, bro. Oh, the match was postponed. Okay, well, that makes sense, of course. But that's just silly. But it's under 13s, isn't it? Who cares, isn't it? Who cares? AP says, big up. Yep. Two kids working your ass off. Well, I was gonna say welcome to the life, but I don't have two kids. So big up AP, man, working hard, being a I was gonna say being a dad. Being a dad to two kiddies. As long as they don't support Man United, man, don't do that to them, AP7. Don't force them to support Man United. Don't do that to them. Don't do it. Big up Tim. Just joined. I think Zirkzee is decent, but he's never going to get a run of games to get going, says Tim. All right, cool. All right, guys. So we've gone through the gym stuff, have we not? Yep. So we've done the gym stuff. The gym stuff for me was my head was getting hot at the gym stuff because I couldn't believe what he was saying. But it is what it is. We spoke about Zirkzee stuff. We spoke about gym. This is now the academy situation. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 50 million spend on Carrington has given United men's first team a superb base. But the under-21s and under-18s have been moved out, now into temporary cabins. New academy building planned to accommodate could be millions of pounds and many months away. You guys might know more about this than I do, actually. Because why do we need a new academy building? What's wrong with the ones where it's like, we've renovated Carrington and Carrington looks banging. Why not just allow the under-18s and under-21s to use Carrington once or twice a week? Because it's like, are we saying we're going to buy or build a new building just for the under-18s and under-21s, which means what was wrong with the old building? Are we going to build it to the same standard as a new Carrington? Because one thing I'm also thinking, guys, is I don't want an under-18 player to have the lavish. I think it's both, though. So I'm battling in my head because at one part I'm thinking I don't want a 16-year-old to come into Man United and have everything taken care for, not do anything, have all the best state-of-the-art stuff, and therefore once that 16-year-old is reached 18, they're like a Garnacho. They think they've made it because they've been living some sort of, I don't know, guys. What am I saying? What am I actually saying? What am I actually saying? I'm just saying that I don't need the under-18s or under-21 academy building to be the same as the main building. I don't need that to happen if that's what's going to happen. But there's not enough context here, and we don't know a lot about this. And it's only Laurie Whitwell that is speaking about this. But apparently, Carrington doesn't have space for all the talent. And I look at Carrington, I'm like, bro, Carrington looks huge. Carrington looks huge. So I don't know. Let me not give an opinion, actually. Let me just report on this and move on, because I don't know enough about this to have even a stance, really. I'm just having considerations. I don't really have a stance on this. So yeah, apparently they used to have space, but now in the old setup they had space, but in the new setup they don't have space. So you've upgraded Carrington and you've made it less accessible for the younger players, even though it's been an upgrade. How does that even make sense? Apparently it was an omission. Can you believe that? They've sat down, they planned the upgrade of Carrington. They spent all that money to upgrade Carrington, brand new facilities, only to then realize, hold on a second. Now that we've finished everything, there's no really room for the academy and for the under-21 players. So instead, according to the article from Laurie Whitwell, what they've done is include 2 dressing rooms for emerging talent. That's why I spoke about the young kid, JJ Gabriel, who could train with these guys. So they've included 2 dressing rooms for emerging talent, holding 10 spots between them. So you have to be a selected special player, right, to be at Carrington apparently now. These are intended for young players who are in the first team or those from the academy who are training with Ruben Amorim's squad, like JJ Gabriel, for instance. Generally, 2 players are chosen to join every session. In the past week, this has included Shea Lacey, Jim Thwaites, Tyler Fletcher, Jaden Nwashi, and Daniel Armour. I don't know some of these names, only some of them I know. They eat with the first team whenever they train alongside them. So, I don't know, guys. I'm just reporting the news to you that we are looking to do something with the academy building. So now you guys know what United are planning next with regards to upgrading the facilities. Let's move on. Let me quickly read the comments. Osman says, I share the skepticism about Zirkzee. He's a very tidy, skillful player, but he runs like he's carrying luggage. Everyone's getting on my guy, but I hear it. There's not really a place for slow down to speed up type of 10s in the modern Premier League, says Osman. TK says, I get you, Wiz, but just call it a spade a spade. Tim says, big up Tim in the chat. Big up Timmy 199. Milton says, maybe they don't want the young guys around. Maybe, but that was always the way to get better. When you train with I remember, when I was playing for a semi-pro team, Tooting and Mitcham, and I was like 16 or something, and I was in the young squad. But anytime I could train with the older guys, I was like, I'm the shit. I'm the guy. Like, you do get something when you train with the first team. Whether it's you just get reminded about how physical it is. When you train with people your age, you're just not making them, you're just having fun. When you train with the first team, they're just running rings around you, and you're thinking, shit, I got a lot of work to do to get to this level. Even if it does that to your brain, it helps you. I think you have to separate change rooms, etc., says Tim. Yeah, youngsters and whatnot as well, right? And there's also the safeguarding issue as well when it comes to under 18s that these football clubs are really bad at. I mean, if there was a safeguarding team at Manchester United, if there was one or 2 social workers that worked with the young players at Manchester United, maybe the Mason Greenwood situation wouldn't have happened. He would have a counsellor there at Man United. Every football club, especially when you're working with kids, please YouTube, I'm not saying what you think I'm saying, but especially when you're working with kids, there should be some sort of safeguarding counsellor, some professional who has the child's best interest at heart, because the amount of stuff that comes out about what happens to these kids when they go to these academies, we won't talk about it. It's not the time or place for that, but it's emotional. It's emotional. Yeah, you would think that all of these academy players would benefit. Yeah, you think that, Milton, you would. TK says, I'm okay with youth on the team. Only issue is that we are short on mentors and father-like figures. Amram is more like a drunk uncle. TK, you might be the MVP today, You might have to crown yourself. All right. Here we go. Quickly, Man United could bank more than 10 million if they strike a deal to visit Saudi Arabia this season. Full stop. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you care about it morally or not, maybe you don't. I don't know. I need to understand the mindset of my own chat and what my own chat actually think about or care about. So if you care about it, let me know. One of the 3 options open to United would be to take part in the Riyadh Season Cup, a 3-way tournament against Al Nassr and Al Hilal. United would be expected to earn around 5 million per game, plus more in prize money if they win the tournament. I'm not gonna lie, at the same time, 5 million a game. 5 million just one game. Man, it's football. Money is crazy in football, Imagine playing against Ronaldo and all these guys. Listen, Man United have to do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Surely, guys. If we know the football club that we support, if we know these guys, and someone's saying, here's 5 million, here is 5 million Glazers and Ineos, here it is. All you got to do is send 15 men over to Saudi Arabia to play a match. And that's it. And you pocket 5 million. They're going to do it. Surely. No? No? If we know these guys, and I think we're starting to know them now, they're going to do it. No? The question is, do you care? Does my chat actually even care? Maybe you guys don't. There's no wrong and right answer. I just want to gauge. Saudi trip. I think they must focus on the Premier League. Milton, I think they're going to focus on the money. I think they're going to see the 5 million for this one game. No private jet or nothing. We're going to probably walk there. We'll walk there to save money. Pocket the 5 million and come home. Or 10 million or whatever it is. Shivam says, I simply wonder what goes on in training. Our academy players ain't good because the players they train against were mediocre. In the past, we had Keane, Rooney, Giggs, Scholes, Neville, and 100 more, imagine. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Shivam. I hear we are to play Kaiser Chiefs at some point. I don't know, TK, you're funny. You're funny. Wait, that's a band, isn't it? You're funny. Let's go Saudi. Amazing. Do 10 such a free. Yeah. Shivam's on it. Shivam, let's go Saudi. Let's get that money. Let's get that money, says Shivam. Tim says Ronaldo said the young players wouldn't listen to him when he returned, but I'll take that with a pinch of salt. Yeah, Ronaldo, I like Ronaldo when he was at Man United. I really love the guy. I guess the more I know about the guy as a person, the more I'm like, Ronaldo's very interesting. He's very narcissistic. He's very, very narcissistic. But nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Anyway, what time is it? 8:49. Let's try to wrap up, guys. CEO Omar Barizzle and Director of Football Jason Wizzle have spoken. I've spoken to members of the squad, including Captain Bruno Fernandes. Don't forget, it's Fernandes. Yeah. And the leadership group. Oh my gosh, the leadership group, guys. The leadership group. And are convinced there's continued support for the Portuguese coach. I don't know how much you're going to read into this. First and foremost, when's the last time, chat, community, people, that you heard the CEO of a football club go and have conversations with the members, with the players, to talk about the manager, and then tweet it, or tweet the results, or the results or the outcome is tweeted? Like, what? This is the PR that's coming out of Man United right now, and we must understand the PR is all, and this is good PR. I mean, good PR in the sense that it's for a reason and a targeted reason, and what we're trying to do is show unity. Jim has come out today and categorically backed the manager 100%. We never heard him speak before. It was all Fabrizio Romano tweeting, Laurie Whitwell. It's all the journalists tweeting. This guy, Jim Ratcliffe, didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to speak himself. The journalists were doing it for him. The club was feeding journalists information and they were doing the work. He actually came out. There are now quotes. He's fully backing the manager. And now the CEO has come out and said, I've spoken to the players and everyone is backing the manager. So that is it. Siege. I said, are we going to have a siege mentality? Are we trying to create the Fergie, us against the world siege mentality? Is that what we're trying to create here? I don't know. I don't know, people. But this is what's coming out of the club. Everyone's together. Everyone's united. Everyone's back in Amram. And every now and again we hear Zirkzee wants to leave, or a Kobe wants to leave. Those are those players and agents pushing for them to leave. But from a club's perspective, they want to show unity, and that's what's being pushed out from the club. So it is what it is, guys. Let me see the chat. Do you think Amram is same to Ineos as Ineos are to the Glazers? Just a shield to protect and delay things to fill in. Meanwhile, we miss signing the most critical position. CM. Shivam, I've thought about this. What you've posed to me, the question you posed to me. I've thought about this. I sometimes feel like the 2 years is going to be crazy. Loads of things getting built. We're not going to be where we are. All these things, and I always wonder if this Amarim is just the guy that they're using as a face of this next 2 years. 2 years of crap, and then they'll get rid of him. Like he's a shield. And Ineos are the new face of the club. Ineos only own 25% of the club. We keep forgetting that. But yes, it's Ineos. It's still the Glazers. It's still the Glazers. But as long as we keep saying Ineos, and Ineos are taking ownership as well. So it's not as if Ineos are coming out and saying, yeah, it's us. It's us. So they're taking the bullets. They're saying, shoot me. YouTube, don't cancel my stream because I said the word shoot, bro. Like, let's not do that. That's what Ineos are doing. And Amram, you could argue what Shivan's saying, he's doing a similar thing. So it's maybe that's his business. That's what it is. You have the CEO, then you have the CFO, then you have all these guys. And the first person to get fired is the guy at the very bottom. Then the next guy gets fired. So it's just hierarchy. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, Shivam, I have thought about that. That is something that I think about. But it is what it is, though. Good question. I mean, I'd like to pose the same question to you because it seems like that's what you think as well, Shivam. Milton says, Bizzle and Wizzle, they must have... Yeah, Milton, bro. Bizzle and Wizzle, bro. That's what... They must have learned Portuguese by now, or at least the bad words. Yeah. They're having too much fun and jokes with the manager, bro. They're definitely going, puta. They're definitely saying that. Because I know that's... What's that in Portuguese? That means... What does it mean in Portuguese? It's a bad word, right? Puta. I don't know. I think it means bitch or something. I don't know. Nah, Milton, they've been learning the love language because they are all loving each other. Flipping neck Turkish. Zirkzee and Manu should say what Ruby says. Sometimes I feel like quitting. TK, yeah? As much as that's a joke, yeah? As much as that is a joke, yeah? And that point's annoyed me. Do you know why it's annoyed me? Because it shows, yeah, that our manager, and I said this already to you guys, why can't our manager come out and say, sometimes I want to give up, sometimes I want to quit on Man United, and sometimes I don't. Well, if I get fired, it doesn't bother me. Why can he be like that? Why is he allowed to be like that? And if a player comes out, if any player comes out and says, sometimes I want to quit Man United, but sometimes I want to stay. If any player, my God, comes out and says that, the fans will destroy them. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm glad he brought it up, TK, because he just reminded me the sort of double standards of our approach as well. Anyway, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire wants to stay at Manchester United. Bro, I want to be at Manchester United. If I was you, I would want to stay as well. I hate the fact that him wanting to stay makes people happy. He's like, oh yeah, he wants to stay. I don't care if he wants to stay. Højlund wanted to stay. Everybody wants to stay. It doesn't matter what they want. Why is that even a factor that he wants to stay? Why do we need to know that of course he wants to stay. Of course he wants to stay. However, with the Red Devils' minority owners Ineos keen to reduce the wage bill, it is highly unlikely he will be offered the same salary he earns now of around 190,000 a week. Okay, so I guess that is a good thing. This is my thing. Where are the new English defenders that are coming up? And how much will a new English defender cost? Because our English quota, homegrown quota, whatever you want to use, needs to be met. It needs to be met. And I do believe that's one of the reasons why we haven't got rid of some of our English, like the Shaws and the Mason Mounts, right? If you can tell me that we're going to keep Maguire, who's probably like 30 now, I don't know how old he is, but I'm assuming he's around that age, and pay him just 90 grand a week, yeah. Okay, cool. Back up, 90 grand a week, cool. But yeah, not on 190 grand a week. Not on that kind of money. No way. I'm done with Maguire, guys. I'm done with Harry, personally. But anyway, finally, your favorite journalist people, Indy Kalia. I know, caveat, they're not always right. I know, guys. Don't shoot me, please. Just letting you guys know what they're saying and what everyone's picking up and what everyone else is talking about now. And this is it. Apparently, the Bruno Fernandes sale has been agreed. Apparently. Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson now incoming. Apparently. We have been told a high-level secret United transfer plans. Apparently. So it's like, hold on a second, yeah. I mean, top secret. Is it really a secret that Bruno is going to leave and Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson are coming? Is that a secret? Is that top secret? And if it's top secret, what? It was no longer a secret now, is it? So, don't shoot the messenger, people. We understand that Bruno Fernandes will be sold to Saudi Arabia for £100 million this summer. Apparently. This deal is already agreed. Apparently. This deal is already agreed between all parties, according to sources. And it seems like Bruno is waiting to sort out personal terms. Okay. The funds from Bruno transfer are expected to be used to bring Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson. Guys, I'm only reporting it to you. That's it. I don't think you guys want to talk about it, but that is the talk of the town. People are getting excited. Pants are getting wet. People are getting excited to hear this. I'm not excited at all. At this, I said it before, guys. I will report on the news. And if there's any little transfer news, I'll let you guys know. But I don't really care about transfer news when the transfer window has just shut and we're in the middle of a season. I'm only just letting you know what the talk of the town is. And that's it. So big up, everybody. If this is true, then Christmas has come early. It has come early. But we don't know yet. So Milton says, oh my God, the number of players who are on the bench like Mainu and Zirkzee plus those who are off form, it makes things much more difficult. TK says, De Ligt at centre back, HMS Maguire and his 190k a week are not needed. Didn't we want to sell him 3 seasons ago along with Shaw? Yeah, TK, Maguire has somehow, after the whole Greek thing and everything he did, and we wanted to sell him, he's managed to go under the radar and just Phil Jones it. He's Phil Jones in it. Obviously, Phil Jones, he was injured, so he spent 4 years just on the sickbed, Phil Jones. But Maguire, he might Phil Jones the thing. He might Phil Jones it. Be under the radar, get paid 200 grand and just chill. Who knows? Milton says English quota. Shaw, Mount, Maguire is like a lead weight to carry. I hear you, Milton. It definitely is that. definitely is that. A player is considered homegrown if they were registered with an English Football Association or Welsh Football Association club for 3 seasons by the time they were 21, says Turkish. So that's giving us a bit of context. Shivam says, I don't trust Indicalia when you can't spell secret correctly. Yeah, Shivs. Then how can your sources be right? No, I hear you. I hear you, Shivam. I hear you, bro. Secret or Circuit. Circuit, bro. He can Phil Jones, my left. Phil Jones did well though, man. Phil Jones managed to get so much money from Man United and never playing the football. We didn't see Phil Jones for 3-4 years, bro, and he was picking up his paychecks, bro. He's almost as if Phil Jones signed a 5-year deal, and after he signed a 5-year deal, he was like, "My body's gonna shut down in 3, 2." That's what he did. He knew his body was shutting down, signed a deal, and he said, "Yeah, I'm spending time on a sick bed, and I'm getting paid." That's it. Anyway, people, big boy show, big boy show. We got through a lot of shizzle. All right. Is this new? All right. Let's quickly read this. Apparently, Transanspor. You guys might like this. Huh? Trabzonspor. They even spelled the name of the club wrong. I'm like, why am I saying trans? YouTube, don't ban me. I love trans people. Have trans. Oh man, hold on, shush. Let me be focus. Trabzonspor have indicated they would like to open discussions with Onana on a permanent deal, people, when his loan expires, and personal terms are not expected to be an issue. They absolutely love Onana. He's doing really well there. He's playing under no pressure. I mean, he's not the goalkeeper for us. We know that. He's not going to return. We've gone past Onana. We're over Onana. I just don't need anger. Like, listen, just tell all these players, good luck. Play your football, and that's it. So Onana, I don't think this is a club that Onana would want to stay in a way, because he probably wants to. He probably thinks he's a really good goalkeeper, and he probably thinks or believes he wants to play in one of the top 3 leagues. I don't know if he's gonna stay, but clearly they like him and they want him to stay. He's doing well, so that's an update on the Onana situation. News just in to report to you guys. And all right, listen, I'm not against Netflix, because at the end of the day, yeah, football is so. What's the word called when everybody's got football? Segmented, not segmented. When what's the word I'm looking for? Because football used to be accessible when you only needed like ITV. You only needed like 1 or 2 channels to watch football. Now, in order to watch football, you gotta have in the UK, you gotta have Discovery, TNT Sport. You gotta have Sky Sports 1 and 2 and 3, and Sky Sports Football, and Sky Sports Premier League. Then you gotta have Amazon, who do Champions League games. You gotta like have at least 10 different apps, yeah, just to watch English football almost, or watch football in general. And Netflix is gonna add themselves to that list of things. You're gonna need Netflix probably very, very soon if you want to watch all the football that is available. Unfortunately, I've got Netflix already, so I'm all right. I'm blessed. But once again, for your information, Netflix are going to bid for the rights for Champions League football. Everything's up for grabs now. UEFA are eyeing a 4.4 billion pounds a year deal from club. That's whoa. That much? 4.4 billion a year? Not like 4.4 billion over like 5 years. What is this? Wow, that's a lot of money. Anyway, that's for your information, guys, so you know what's going on. So yeah, big up the chat. Big up the chat. We're coming towards the end of the show. Let's quickly recap what the hell we've been talking about today. It's been a really good show. A lot of questions, a lot of conversations, a lot of insightfulness, especially in the comment section. So big up the chat. The chat is, I'm not gonna lie, I've been involved in many chats, yeah, in many channels. But this chat, yeah, the way that we talk about things, the variety of conversation and viewpoints, I like it. I like it a lot. So big up everybody as usual. We talked about Zirkzee and wanting to leave. Some of you guys are saying, yeah, it's cool, he can leave. Some of us were saying, no, we haven't even scratched the surface. You know when you can see a player that you know you haven't even seen the best of him yet? The first season, he was trying to get used to the league. And the second season, we just haven't seen him. There's so much more to come from that player, and we will never get to see his best because we just don't like him. So we spoke about Zirkzee. Some of us want him gone. Some of us want him to stay. We went through the Jim Ratcliffe quotes. Very, very insightful quotes. We get to see into his mind, into the way he thinks, into what he believes. Very, very interesting quotes on Amorim, on the Glazers, on cost cutting in general. We spoke about the academy base to be built. It's the Saudi deal, how much it's worth. Spoke about Barada and Wilcox, or mentioned Barada and Wilcox speaking to the players. Maguire is apparently going to stay at Man United, maybe. And we just touch upon Indicalia speaking about Bruno Fernandes. So that was the show, guys. Those were the main talking points of the last few days. International break means that it's always a slow news week. So I didn't do a show yesterday because of the slow news week. I decided to save some of the material to have a show today. So this Wednesday, I'll probably have a show Thursday and Friday. We need to talk about our Premier League predictions. I keep saying this. We predicted the Premier League table over a month ago, and I'm not going to lie, we all predicted, I say all, but I had the majority voting rights. We predicted Liverpool to win the Premier League. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I might change my mind now. After this month is gone, I don't know if Liverpool, I don't know. It's still soon, but I might change my mind. I don't know if Liverpool are going to win the league. It might be Arsenal. It might be Arsenal, people. So we're going to have to revisit our Premier League predictions as a community together. Do some fun stuff because it's 2-week international break. There's not a lot to do. So we're going to do some silly stuff, some fun stuff. If I can get a little quiz or something silly as well towards the end of this week or next week, we can do that as well. So big up the chat. Well, have I missed some stuff? I've missed some stuff. Yeah, I have. Does Maguire still want to play for England? He's getting paid a lot for his contributions right now. That's true, Milton. All he does is come off the bench, right? 190 grand a week. It is what it is. I'm sure he will pass a call up, Milton. I'm sure he's well past a call up, says TK. World Cup news, a luxury box that seats 8 is going to be 35 grand for a World Cup game here in Vancouver. 35 grand. Bro, TK, if you're not buying that box, TK, you're banned from the channel. TK, get that box now. So I can fly. Listen, TK, if you get that box, I'm flying over. Milton says, Wiz, how did you watch the 12:30 Sunderland match? Which channel? Yeah, Milton, about that. I don't know. What can I say? Can I say it on YouTube? No, it was free. Now, Milton, it was 3 p.m. That's why you're asking the question, because it was a no 3 p.m. games are televised. Yeah, it's not televised here in the UK, Milton. No UK channels can televise it. But let's say that 3 p.m. games are televised elsewhere. Milton, always understand there that we pay a lot more to watch football, our own football in this country, than others do to watch it. So I watch it using an app. I'll be honest. I'm not going to. I don't know how much I can see. None of the ones I don't know how much I can say on YouTube, because it's not. Yeah, this. I think I should leave it there. But I watch it using an app, Milton. Yeah, that's it. TK says Canada's opening match in Toronto is 2,800 per seat, bro. TK, bro, why is football, because of money and capitalism, is becoming less accessible for the working person? And when it becomes that, I'm telling you guys, once a working person can't touch football anymore, doesn't have a relationship with football, it might take a long time to happen. We're in problems, because football is a distraction and we need it. The rich don't want us looking at them. So distract us with football. Keep us happy. Boom, bam. That's a tournament opener, says TK. That's a lot of money though, TK. It is though, bro. Canada. Turkish said Canada, you know. Today's MVP, Turkish, for keeping it real and modding his ass off every chat with warm welcomes. And yeah, big up Turkish, actually. Big up Turkish. I never really big up Turkish enough, to be fair, for modding and always keeping it real, man. Like, the chat mods itself, to be fair, in a way, because you guys know the levels. You guys, if there's somebody coming in the chat and you guys will be like, listen, get this guy out. You guys mod it anyway. But big up Turkish, always. MVP of the game. Milton says, understand, in reality, the World Cup itself is better on a big screen, though. The atmosphere will be better live. I hear you, Milton. Listen, I'm not... Yeah, I hear you. I can't really add to that, to be fair, Milton. Yeah. Listen, I'm not one of those guys who are like, oh, you got to watch football in a stadium. Listen, I've been to many stadiums. I've watched many games, many Man United games with Man United fans and stuff. And it's fun, but you can't see everything. Especially where, I mean, you can, but you can't. It's like, sometimes watching it on TV, yeah, is better. You're not sitting next to a stupid fan who's shouting stupid stuff as well. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Big up the chat. Big up Milton, TK, Turkish, of course, Shivs, all the regulars, Tim, Oz, of course, AP, me, New, Emir, new guy in the chat. Big up Emir as well. Alfred, Jerry, who jumped in as well. We didn't see Wendell today, but Johnny, big up Johnny Hill. Big up the chat, man. It's been a good show. Really good show. It's good to come here and de-stress, man. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes us guys, yeah, we just need somewhere to just de-stress about football. That's it. Somewhere to chat some shit, talk ball, in and out, boom, bam, we're done. So big up the chat. Tickets are all based on a draw. You have to make it through multiple draws to be able to buy tickets. It's nuts. Trying to pit humans against each other, flipping for a football match. Everything's about me versus you all the time, constantly. But it's a life that we've chosen to live. It's a system that we've all been born into that we cannot change. Big up, everybody. Remember to check out my tactical analysis video on the Sunderland game. I focus on Ahmad and Bryan Mbeumo. Early days, still early days. But I've spoken about what I saw just in that game, guys. Just in that game, and how I think the right-hand side against Sunderland was the catalyst for us winning the game, in terms of how Bryan Mbeumo and Ahmad both played their roles, and how I feel like the right-hand side is getting better. So check out my tactical analysis video that I put up on Monday. I've been pushing it and pushing it, so it's got at least 7,000 views right now. So it's got a lot of views, and I feel like about 5 or 6 people have about 4 or 5 people have subscribed from that video as well. So the video is doing well. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out, share it, and all of that lovely stuff. Big up the chat. It's been a pleasure as always. Share the video, like, and all that lovely stuff. TK, big up yourself, my guy, always. I hope you have a good evening. What time is it, Canada? It's 9 o'clock here, so your afternoon. Afternoon for you, TK. So enjoy your afternoon, my guy. Everyone else, take care, and I'll see you guys as usual next time. Big up.